So, James is having kale plus celery, carrot, water, some chili, and a couple pieces of toast. I'm having cucumber plus Isogenics ultra hydration or whatever powder. Cucumber plus that tastes like orange Tic Tacs, so it's kind of yum. And carrot juice. And then if James wants more carrot, he can have more, and if I want more, we'll see. Anyway, Brooklyn Nine-Nine Season 5, so good. I had it on twice, and not because I wasn't paying attention, but because I was, and I enjoyed it so much I didn't want it to end. So, favorite lines. At one point, Diaz was listening to a couple of the guys were listing off parts that they loved out of a book, and she wasn't impressed. And so they listed off 3 things, and then they got to number 4, and she said, 3 was plenty, so was 0. I want to use that if I can remember it. I think I should be able to, because it was great. And Hitchcock suggested at one point that they all get summers off like teachers and let the city go to purge, which I thought was funny. And apparently cheesies are full of air, what the body needs. Really good. So I think everyone would enjoy watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine Season 5. So great. I'm going to drink this. Boy, there sure is a lot of hooting and hollering and stuff. Boy, I sure hate the froth. When the juicer spits out a bunch of froth, so bad. The worst is beet froth. It's really bad, but wow, I'm sure there's lots worse. No, the stuff that I drink regularly. So I read this, I guess yesterday morning, and I've flipped back to it a few times this morning. We only have a few minutes to talk about Chris Beat Cancer by Chris Wark. Author, speaker, patient advocate, and wellness crusader. I am going to call myself from now on author, speaker, patient advocate, and wellness crusader. Also, James's personal assistant.
Who is this?
And, well, me. I'm talking about I'm going to give myself these kind of titles. Author, speaker, patient advocate, and wellness crusader.
Oh, smokes.
Yeah.
Crusader's not a good word to use these days.
Well, yeah, but there's a lot of mention about God and scriptures and stuff like that.
Okay.
So, it depends what you're reading, Jane. I mean, I read a lot of this modern American Christian stuff, which
No.
James and I were not raised to be this sort of Christian. Anyway.
Yeah.
I'll just list off the things. Page 12. Opiates can stimulate the growth and spread of cancer. 13 to 14, juicing and raw food diet achieve lasting remission without chemo or surgery for his colon cancer. Or, no, that was somebody else that was talking about. Anyway, but yes, for him too, because he did that at first, but then he moved back into eating meat, and he has this... A lot of people go through these weird justifications for things, like, I'll probably show you later today, because this is, so far I haven't had a solid meal. today. I had my turmeric mixed with black pepper and celery juice. It's actually really easy to drink turmeric with celery juice, so if you haven't gotten into drinking the turmeric yet, maybe we'll make you try it Saturday? We'll see. And we'll see how much of a face he makes, because then you'll know if you can stomach. It's not a great flavor anyway, but it's very important if you want to be fighting inflammation or cancer or whatever. Anyway, but train of thought got derailed there. What I was talking about was me not eating solid food. I'll go through these, like I'll go through intermittent fasting occasionally, but I don't really, that ends up worse. But when I do the juice, when I just do a bit of a stretch with the juice, so I haven't had solid food until, say, probably it'll be noon today or whatever. If it's mostly juice, then I end up okay. And if I combine that with smoothies, I'm just fine. I can keep going like that. But yeah, if I do the thing where I push off, especially when I start combining it with coffee, if I push off eating, I just end up launching it. I'll show you. I did that. I demolished a pie. I ate the whole inside of it out. And that was 2 days I tried to do the fasting thing. And 2 afternoons I spent scooping out pie, pumpkin pie filling from the pie. So, you know, if you're going to do that, it's not really, it's not good strategy. Whatever. Anyway, and I don't know where I started with that, why I started with that. Page 25, geographical areas where cancer rates are particularly high due to pollution are known as cancer clusters, usually found near industrial areas. 2013, Emory University researchers, increased risk non-Hodgkin lymphoma among people who live near factories that release benzene into the environment. Benzene is used in production of plastic, nylon resin, lubricants, dyes, cleaners, pesticides. The closer people live to benzene-released factories, the higher the risk. In 2015, 174 scientists from 28 countries ID'd 50 common chemicals considered harmless at low doses, but could be carcinogenic when combined with other harmless chemicals. Triclosan and in antibacterial soap, phthalates in plastics, titanium dioxide in sunscreen, acrylamide in French fries, coffee, cereal, bread crust, and roasted nuts. 27. Fewer than 3% of Americans are living healthy lifestyle. That's eating 5 servings fruit, vegetable daily, regular daily exercise, not being overweight, and not smoking. 19% of American diet is from highly processed grains like white flour, cornstarch. 17% from added sugars in soda, candy, processed food. 23% from added fats, butter, margarine, shortening, processed oils, predominantly from GM crops. 26% meat, dairy, eggs. Page 28. 2018 study. Every 10% increase in consumption of processed food increases cancer risk by 12%. That includes sugary drinks, baked goods, sugary cereals, salty snack foods, reconstituted meat products, and ready meals like instant noodle soups and TV dinners. Wheat sprayed with Roundup is page 35. To control weeds and help it dry out 7 to 10 days before harvest. 2009 Journal of Toxicology. Roundup is an endocrine disruptor at trace amounts of just 0.5 ppm and are liver toxic at 5 ppm in humans. 2013 Interdisciplinary Toxicology. The incidence of gluten intolerance, celiac disease, and irritable bowel syndrome has risen in direct proportion to the increased spraying of Roundup on grains, including wheat, rice, seeds, beans, peas, sugar cane, sweet potatoes, and sugar beets. Page 43. Non-error prescription drug reactions are now the 4th leading cause of death in the U.S. That means those 127,000 people who die each year are taking the correct doses of drugs prescribed to them and are dying from reactions to those drugs. Page 47. Look up Radical Remission by Dr. Kelly Turner. 57. This is a quote, "We the taxpayers fund the research and the drug companies make billions in profit selling drugs back to us. We spent $484 million developing the cancer drug Taxol and then licensed it to Bristol Myers Squibb, which has made over $9 billion on the drug and only paid $35 million in royalties to the National Institute of Health." Page 65. When healthy cells are damaged by chemo, they can secrete a protein called WNT16B. This protein can feed existing tumors, helping them grow and making them resistant to further treatment, which is why approximately 90% of patients with solid metastatic cancers, including breast, prostate, lung, and colon cancer, develop resistance to chemo. When cancer cells are injured or killed by chemo, targeted therapies, radiotherapy, they trigger an inflammatory cytokine storm that promotes new tumor growth. Page 106, Dr. William Lee of Angiogenesis Foundation, potent anti-angiogenic foods, green tea, ginseng, strawberries, blackberries, blueberries, raspberries, oranges, grapefruit, lemons, apples, pineapple, cherry, red grapes, kale, maitake mushrooms, turmeric, nutmeg, lavender, artichokes, pumpkins, parsley, garlic, tomatoes, EBOO, red wine, dark chocolate. 107. Cranberries and lemons have highest anti-cancer, phenolic, and antioxidant activity and cut liver cancer cell growth by 85%. The higher the dose used, the more effective. 109. Amla berries, Indian gooseberry, have the highest antioxidant content of any food, 200 times the antioxidant content of blueberries. Amla has the second highest concentration of vitamin C next to camu fruit. 2010 study, amla extract tested against lung, liver, cervical, breast, ovarian, and colon cancer. Amla stopped the cancer growth completely, but also killed the existing cancer cells, reducing their population by over 50% and significantly blocked the cancer's ability to spread. 3/4 teaspoon per day amla powder works better to lower high blood sugar into normal range than glyburide, diabetic medication. 1 berry per day cut bad cholesterol and triglycerides in half and boosted good cholesterol after 3 weeks taken daily. Amla tastes terrible. It's in a paste called Dabur Chyawanprash. Easiest taken as powder. 116. 1 teaspoon of oregano has the same antioxidant power, oxygen, radical absorbance capacity, or ORAC, of 2 cups red grapes. It contains quercetin, which slows cancer growth and promotes apoptosis. Page 117, Essiac tea, burdock root, sheep sorrel root, rhubarb root, and slippery amber. Essiac instruction videos on YouTube. Mally Klein? You know what? Page 117. My writing is hard for me to read.
It might be good to save this for
later?
Later. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, we're going to stop here, and we're going to continue this talk about crispy cancer a little bit later.
Yeah, maybe it'll be a little warmer. Stay up.
It's nice now.